All right, guys, we're at the other spillway where I learned how to throw the Daredevil and the spinnerbait. This is like a cross between the two. It's a Daredevil spinnerbait. Boy, the water sure is low, even though we had some nice rain. So these are made by Black Fly Lures. I just saw the little bullfrog creeping over there. Yeah, the water's really low, but we'll still see if we can make this work. Welcome back, fishing friends, to another adventure. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Oops. That was my fault, because I got my thumb in the way. Anyway, let's try that again. Welcome back, fishing friends, to another adventure. We're up here on the river where I spent a lot of years fishing. Man, I'm glad that you're here to hang out with me. Hey, if you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. My name's Alan, and I'm always making some kind of a fishing video, it seems. And I appreciate all the subscribers and people that have shown interest. Not a lot of bells and whistles, just me fishing, you know. I keep it simple. I make a lot of these so that when I retire one day, I can go back and just watch and see all the fun I had. I love testing and tinkering different lures. Like, I've never fished this particular lure until this year. So we're gonna have some fun throwing it around. I got a bunch of other stuff too. Well, I can see a bunch of bait fish down there. All right, so with this, I do crank, 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 kill it, crank, 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 kill it. But I'm always a slow and steady guy. Oh, by the way, I'm throwing this on the Casting Sharky 2 with a St. Croix Bass X with some gin clear line. So I need to pick up the pace on this. I forget we're in the summertime and I can really crank this and get it moving, pick up some extra bites. It's a good place for jigs, Ned rigs. You know, I hadn't really done a lot of Ned rigs this year. That's something I need to, I mean, I did a little bit with the Rebel Live Flex. That's about it. So I may need to throw some more worms. The worm game is really good here, and I just hadn't done it much. All right, guys, nothing on that spinner. So I switched to a little homemade with a Naco 1/16 ounce tungsten jig head and a little blade I put on there, a little bladed jig. Got this on the Crappie Thunder This has got 4-pound line on it with a 4-pound Sunline fluoro leader. So I catch some crappie in here, so we'll see if we can get one. Ooh, something just spooked the fish there. Kind of a cloudy day, rained through the night, rained yesterday. We'll see if we can get something to chase after this. Man, I love throwing bladed jigs, jackhammers, aka chatterbaits. They are fun to fish with. So I've got a little Kitech on there. What do they call those little easy shiners? 2.5 inch, or maybe, yeah, 2.5 inch maybe, or 2 inch. Nothing doing. Hey, look, there's a bobber I can rescue with my little bobber tool. With that little frisbee thing. What did I get, 4 the other day? Well, nothing doing, guys. So I may have to try a jig or a Ned rig. We'll see if we can entice a Ned rig bite. Alright guys, my buddy Dan at Great Lakes Finesse, they make these Ned bugs. You can see this one's chewed up. It's got a little channel there, perfect for the hook, but this one's caught a ton of fish for me. And in this location too, but that's it. Dan from Great Lakes Finesse put that together. And his partner there, they worked for quite a while to get this thing perfect. There we go. Oh! I lost him. That's gonna go on the fishing fails. That was me trying to horse one through. Dang it. Dang. Not the optimal setup for this. I've got this on the Mag 6.8 with 12-pound fluoro leader and 12-pound braid Sunline. Oh man. Well, that stinks, for crying out loud. Just trying to get it into that corner. And I had a nice bite and I botched it. I didn't get a very good hook set. Oh man. Alright guys, we're hooked up. This one's on the big jaw sheet. It's like a little goby looking thing. Oh, check it out. It's a nice fish. It's a bass. Boy, he just smoked it. There he is right there. Not very big. He's a good fish though. Check him out. Nice little guy. There you go. All right, so I didn't get anything on the Ned bug, but check out this little dude. Just a little, I'm convinced from here on out my Ned rigs are gonna be megabass spark shads, something like this. What else? A grub. And of course, the robo worms. So score one for the Ned rig. Just over in this little cove over here. Sometimes I'll hop it, sometimes I just drag it. You can see it. It's just like a little bait fish. There's tons of bait fish down there. A lot of these are these spawning carp that have come up. The other thing I like to do is right under there, under the rapids. I've made a bunch of videos on it. It's just a cotton cordell CC spoon just jigging it down in there with the flash, and they just come up and crush it. I could see the little flash of bait fish down there. Alright guys, so I've got this on the 3000 HG, the Shimano Miravel. I always forget to mention that. For the reel, I love this reel. If you've never thrown the Miravel, man, it's definitely worth giving it a try. Not sponsored by anybody, I'll always tell you if I really like something. No. No. Thought I had a snag there. If the Ned rig doesn't really get much done, then maybe just a good old-fashioned jig. One of the biggest pike I ever caught in here was on a black and blue jig. Just bouncing it along. Usually I swim my jigs, but this one, I was just hopping it along down there and bam! What do you guys like to use on the Ned rig? Give me a shout out. A lot of people like that TRD from Z-Man. Another one is from Chubbs. Chubbs makes a little Ned rig that's pretty good. I may have to break that out at some point. But really, anything with that looks like a little minnow, the drifter minnow from like Net Baits is good. Well, I threw a Flash Mob Junior with only 2 hooks because that's all you can use here in Iowa. Through the Berkeley Nessie, nothing. So now I'm just throwing a regular old Daredevil, just reliving childhood memories. Not a very big size, just a decent size. Kind of like when I threw the spinner for old school memories. I forgot to mention with the spinner, guys, You want one that's got that clothespin. I know people are like, the clothespin. And that the blades, that upper arm, doesn't go past that hook. Everything should be in front of that hook. So, something to think about there with that. And a lot of times, I don't put a trailer on a spinnerbait. Some people will put it like a real thin, light trailer. Ooh. All right, guys. Please tell me we're hooked up. Yep, we're hooked up. I gotta take my time with this. Feels like something pretty big. It's not liking it. The only thing is it's got to stay out of those trees over there. That is the key thing. You gotta be kidding me. Did I snag a carp on this? Oh, man. A catfish, maybe? That's pretty dang big. Can you guys tell what the heck that thing is? Oh, it's a stinking carp. I got him hooked on the gut. How in the... Up under his chin. So he took a swipe at it. Oh, man. All right. I gotta tire him out. I don't have my big net. That's one thing, is usually I have a big net for me for carp. I mean, for big northern pike. I didn't even think to bring it. How in the heck did I hook this dude? He must have took a swipe at it and then it just got him. That's a big carp too. You guys see the size? Look at the size of this carp. It's just massive. All right. Look at the size of that thing. We'll get you in here. Ooh. Easy. I guess I could try to unhook him there, but... There you go, buddy. Huge carp. Let's get this out of the way. Oh, that's a big carp. He didn't know that he's free. Let me get this glove on for the slime. We'll try to pick him up. That's a big carp, guys. Huge. Look how big that thing is. Come on. You're free. Woo! Boy, I gotta... There he goes. I grabbed his tail. He didn't like it. I got a face full of water. Now I gotta check the camera. Look at my pants. My hoodie. Well, that was definitely a catch. The camera didn't even get wet. Wow, this sunline. Guys, the sunline holding that carp. Let's check the hooks. Hooks are fine. Fusion 19s. Man. That was crazy. That's one of the craziest catches I've ever had here. Now, I've caught a big carp like that before. Up top over here. One day I'll get that one replica made. But this may be the biggest one also, or tied for it. I was just throwing the spoon out there and then talking about how I retrieve it and how I used to fish this as a kid. And then bang! I guess he took a swipe at it thinking it was something, and then it got him right under the chin. I don't think it was a snag because I wasn't snagging. I was just cranking and letting it do its thing. That was a lot of fun. Here, let me show you something. So I always put a little crane swivel on the split ring there at the top. That way it's got more movement and it can be free and it's not going to get locked. And you can't use it for leverage. See, there's a classic example. That guy, even though I didn't have him hooked in the mouth, him thrashing and doing whatever, there was no way he was coming off through leverage. The magic of the spoon, guys. The daredevil, the spoon. That's just hilarious. Alright guys, status report. Man, I just caught that big carp on a daredevil, old school daredevil. It's what I learned to fish out here, what to throw out here. Such a cool spot to fish as a kid. This is where I learned how to throw the spinnerbait, where I learned how to throw the spoon. So, that's a quick little update on the fishing hole here. Alright, let's get back to it. Alright guys, I threw a bunch of other stuff. Nothing doing through the bladed jigs, just different kinds of things. I'm going to switch to this Meps XD. I've caught a lot of fish here on it before, that fire tiger color. So we'll chuck this around. It's got a lot of great memories for me fishing this here. XD for extra deep. I prefer that setup of it. Now I do have some of these XDs with rigged up weedless, my little modified Meps. But I like throwing this one just as it is. Such a cool bait to throw. Boy, Meps sure did something right when they made this. I've been up to that factory and toured it. Such a cool experience. If you ever get a chance to get up there to Antigo or Antigo, Wisconsin, go for it. Catch bass on it, pike, walleye, smallmouth. Alright guys, we're hooked up on a Rapala Countdown minnow and kind of like a gray color. What? How in the heck? This dude got clipped on the back. Oh, this is like epic pike bait right here. That's a sucker. A black sucker. Because it's not in its white color. And those are common in Iowa. It's not a chub. See if we can get him unhooked here. Wow, that's unusual to catch one. All right, let's start working on you. There we go. Yep. This is perfect muskie and carp bait, right? I mean, pike bait right here. There he is. That's why they call him that. It's a black sucker. If it's a white one, you see it in the real pale color. All right, you ready? First, I thought it was a walleye. I was like, man, what the heck? I would have loved to have caught a walleye. That's it right there. Rapala Countdown. I prefer the Countdown series because then I can control the depth, speed of retrieval. That's it, just a flick of the wrist. I'm bringing it along the shelf here. Crank, 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 kill it. Crank, 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 kill it. No. Ooh, almost got it snagged. Yeah, it's a cool bait. I prefer these in the original floater than the floating one. What happened here? All right, so I'm just doing my fan casting, running it through. I mean, it looks just like a creek chub. We got creek chubs here, shiners. You got those black suckers, there's white suckers. Look at that. Just like a little minnow. Oops. Sketchy footing. Yeah, my dad's gonna be upset that I didn't keep that sucker for when we come out pike fishing, but I don't have a place to keep it alive. I do have the donkey leash and I could have tied him up to something and then had him bring me the minnow bucket. All right, guys, I catch a ton of fish with this little mega bass spark shad, little 1/4 ounce jig head, but nothing today. I've been pitching it all around, up under the rapids, out in the middle, back over here under the trees. I just can't get a bite. This thing looks epic down there. Check it out. Looks just like a little minnow. I think IU is this color, if I'm not mistaken. There it is. It has been my money maker here. I mean, just all the time. All right, guys, it's going to wrap it up for me for today. Look at all those bait fish swimming through there. It's going to wrap it up for me for today. Thanks for hanging out with me. What a crazy day of fishing. Species I never thought I'd catch for sure. It was a lot of fun. Thanks for hanging out with me, and until next time, I will see you then. Bye-bye. Now get out there and get your lures wet.